Hey there, it's Rachel from All About the House. In this video I'm going to show you how to do duplex printing. So if you've purchased a printable from my shop or if you've downloaded one from elsewhere and you want to do duplex printing, there's two main ways that you can do this. So I'm going to demonstrate using this printable, which is from the student planner in my shop. It's available by my shop, which is All About the House on Etsy if you're interested. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial. So you want to open up the PDF file, go to File, Print, and then choose your printer from the drop-down menu. I use a Canon printer. If you're using a different printer, such as a Brother or a HP, your printer menu may look a little bit different, but typically the settings are the same. So you go to Properties, sometimes it's page setup, depending on what your printer is, and then you can usually just tick Duplex Printing, hit OK, and it will just go and do it automatically. But I know that not all printers do duplex printing automatically, so in that case all you need to do is go to Pages to Print and choose the page you want to print. So all of my printables will always have a minimum of 2 pages in the PDF file. So if it's this printable, for example, it's the same design repeated on page 1 as it is on page 2. The reason I do that is because it is way easier to do duplex printing, and it's also easier if you want to do 2 per page printing and then cut the pages in half for A5 planner inserts. For half page size, doing smaller size printables, and if you're obviously printing a lot of copies, like for example of to-do lists, then I like to just do 2 per page printing cut in half. So that's why I have 2 in my PDFs. Sometimes the planner page will be too much to cram onto just one sheet of paper, so it will usually be spread over 2 for things like 2-page weekly planner or a monthly calendar, etc. So in that case, you would just go back to File, Print, and you would print page 1. So you would change this to page 1, and then you would print the design out, and then you would put it back in your printer tray, and then you would change this to page 2. So the thing with doing manual printing, which is this method here, or if you wanted to print, for example, 1 page from this design, but then you wanted to put a different planner page design on the back of it, you can use this method as well. So you print out whatever you want to appear on one side, and then you will need to get the piece of paper out of the tray and rotate it. Typically, most printers will require you to rotate it 180 degrees so that this part here of the design, this top bit, feeds through the printer first. You'll have to experiment with your printer whether it prefers if you place the design face down, i.e. so this is facing the tray with a white, with you looking at the white side, to the blank side of the piece of paper, or whether it should be right side up, i.e. this is what you see, and then the white side is facing the printer tray. So you'll need to test with your printer. For mine, it needs to feed like this. So when it comes out of the printer, you see this, and when you feed it back to the printer to print it on the other side, you have to put it face up as well. So you'll have to test that with your printer. If you're doing test prints and while you start to work it out, I recommend that you always do test prints in grayscale. So usually there's just a box to tick for grayscale. Otherwise, if you go into Properties or Advanced, you can tick grayscale there as well. So then once you've got that sorted out, I recommend putting on like a sticky note and sticking it to your printer, the specs of what you need to do to print it, so then you don't have to keep doing experiments. You know, okay, these are the settings that I need to select. So you would say, you know, I need to go to Properties, I need to select this, and then print page 1, turn it around 180 degrees so that it's face up, then print page 2. And I find just having that there is really handy as a reference. The other thing that you can do is some printers will have this option here where it's got a default like print on both sides of paper, and then you can choose whether you want it to flip on the long edge, i.e. this here, so when you turn it over, it will be like a normal planner page where you print it on the long edge. And I don't recommend choosing flip on the short edge because then it'll be like upside down, it'll be a bit awkward. So if you do have this option here and you do use it, make sure that you choose flip on long edge of the page. The other thing is if you go into Properties, you can do the duplex printing manually. Otherwise, another thing that might be in your printer menu is paper saving, and usually you'll find duplex printing under that as well. So you can choose it that way as well. The other thing to note is you want to make sure that you've selected your page size and everything before you do duplex printing. So if you wanted to do a custom page size, you would select it from there. If you want to do A5, and then make sure you've got fit to page selected, and then print your design. Again, there's duplex printing in there as well. There's quite a few different areas within your printer menu where you can select duplex printing if it's automatic, and this little demo here gives you a good idea of what it's like when it feeds the paper through. So with mine, you would want the design, so this, you would see this when you feed it in the paper, and then when it comes out on the reverse side is what we'll print. So if you go to your page set up within your printer menu, it will usually give you this little diagram, and that tells you which way you should feed the paper into your printer. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I do have a couple of other tutorials on how to do like A5 page size printing, custom page size, borderless, etc. So if you're interested, I'll include some links below this video to where you can go check them out.